Welcome to True Crime Sushi. I'm Amy Fallon, and this is a quick impromptu broadcast because I want to bring you the news that Larry Millete has been arrested today in Chula Vista, California, and they're about to start his press conference right now. So I'm going to go ahead and try to share my screen and bring that to you. So give me 1 second here. Hopefully we can see that. My computer won't freeze up. So we'll kind of sit here and wait. Let me scroll down this page a little bit. So apparently at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, the Chula Vista Police Department, in concert with the FBI, stormed his house Larry Millete's house in Chula Vista, and he was arrested. I have some documents for you, but as soon as they go live with this, I don't want to miss the press conference, so I'm going to kind of leave it here because they are supposed to be streaming this on Facebook. So the other thing I have to bring to you while we're waiting is there are some updates in the Miya Marcano case. She is the young woman who was living in Arden Villas Apartments in Orlando, Florida. She also happened to work there, and she was attending college at Valencia College in Orlando. She was abducted from her apartment and later found dead. The person of interest, who is Armando Caballero, he subsequently ended his own life. And now the parents are suing the apartment complex, the parent company, which is Prius. They specialize in collegiate housing, and also the estate of Armando Caballero. So I have some documents for you there, an attorney statement, and a quick little Brian Laundrie story just for you guys. So I don't even know if anybody's here. I'll look. Oh, there are people here. Wow. Yay. We wait for this press conference to start. So let me take a look at what you all are saying. Hi, Terry, Wiley Doodle, Heather Murray, Insightful One, Twin Mon 2011, PJ, Jenny Penny, Betsy Leak, Berserker Loki, Miss Peaches, Tracy L, Spread Love, Not Hate, Judy Eisler Herod. Let's see, P. Ann, Carol Does, and Web Sleuths, yay. So while we're waiting, I'm going to apologize to you guys for my chaotic life. Miller Nature, Amelia Sparkles, Terry QR. I'll go. Nice to see you. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Hello, Kat H. and Leslie McNair. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page and see if anything is going on over here, because this was a link that was provided by them. So I'll click on it and see. That's just going to be a Word document. So we'll sit here and wait. It's 6:04. They said 3 p.m. So should be now. We'll see. All right. Click back on over here. Maybe I will get started. Oh, well, I'll tell you a little bit about my weekend. I'll tell you that. And go from there. So we had a house full of company this weekend, and I really thought that I was Superwoman and could do YouTube with a bunch of people in the house, and that just did not work out. Somebody unexpectedly brought a dog, a very large dog, a very sweet dog, and a very rambunctious dog. And I have a baby gate at the top of my stairs, and that dog cleared it. So it was a little challenging. And then, excuse me, on Saturday, what was it, Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember which one. I think it was Sunday. We went out to the event and we were supposed to be back by a certain time, and it didn't work out for me, and I didn't have my car. And if any of you have these issues, like I just feel really out of control when I can't leave a situation, and I couldn't. All right, so Tracy L is saying Fox 5, so I'm going to go look there. Let's see if I can find it, and if I can, I see somebody else said that they were switching the that didn't work. Okay, switching the press conference, they're going to up it 30 minutes, but I can't confirm that. Bear with me. Well, I guess that's good news because my video came up as a source. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, I'm not finding it. And now I'm getting frustrated. That's okay.
Yete. Police have officially...
Okay. All right. Click back here. All right. Let's see. Tracy L hasn't started, but helicopter in air. Okay. Well, this is the page I'm on is where they said they were going to do it. So I'm going to stick here for a minute, and I'm going to poke around on my phone and see if I can find it somewhere else. A second here. Because I really don't want to get into anything until this starts. Yes. Okay, so is it... Oh, gosh, you're going to challenge me here. I'm going to try it. Pristeris Marie TJE. That's how I'm going to say it. I don't know. Yeah, he was withdrawing large amounts of money from his bank account, and they considered him a flight risk. So that definitely expedited what happened today. And apparently it was quite the scene because, not only was it the Chula Vista PD, but it was the FBI, and it was enough where they set up a mobile command center in the neighborhood. So it was a big deal, securing the entire street, is my understanding, and the surrounding streets. And we do have video of that I can show you. Like I said, I don't really want to get into that until this starts. I don't know what's going on. Yes, Louise Davidson, you made a live. You're in Ireland too, if I remember correctly. Is that the truth that I speak? I think I remember that you told me you were in Ireland. All right, I'm getting really annoyed because this could possibly going on. You're going to hear some noise in the background. So give me a second because I need to play something. Let's see. Okay, so I think it's been pushed back. So we will just sit here and talk. And I hate to, let's see, let me do this. I'm going to share another screen with you and we can talk about that. We'll give it about 5 minutes and we'll check back. So I haven't switched the screen yet. So in fact, I'll stop sharing. I don't want to share. Stop sharing that screen. Maybe, if I can do that. And then, yep. Okay, here we go. We'll do this. All right. And what are you saying, Algo? I'm going to bet it was a Barry Morphy repeat. They had him for a long time, but couldn't quite go ahead. But this money withdrawing did him in. You know what? Get out of my head. That's exactly what I was thinking. Right before I went live, I was running downstairs to get a drink. And I thought, why is it that we have to get these pressure moments, these crisis moments to go ahead and, deliver the arrest warrant? Marilyn Riley says, how do these guys get away with murder? They must have planned it for a long time. Yep. And Amelia says she expects that too. Let's see. Oh, it's cold and your bones aren't happy. I'm sorry. It's terrible. Okay. It's terrible. Get a blankie. You seem like you have such a cozy home. You have to have warm blankies. I'm sure you do. All right. Let me see here. Share this. I'll go ahead and get this up on the screen. Make sure that you all can see it. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's see. This is the police media advisory from Chula Vista Police Department. It was issued today, October 19th, and it says for immediate release. A joint press conference has been scheduled to announce the arrest in Miya Millete investigation. The press conference will take place today, Tuesday, October 19th at 3 p.m. in front of the Chula Vista Police Department. City of Chula Vista Chief Roxana Kennedy and San Diego County District Attorney Summer Stephan will be present at the press conference to discuss the arrest and provide an update to the investigation. It has been over 9 months since the disappearance of Miya Millete. Since 1/11/2021, detectives from CVPD have continuously investigated Miya's disappearance. The Chula Vista Police Department has worked daily with the multi-agency working group, including the San Diego County District Attorney's Office, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and the Naval Criminal Investigation Services, NCIS, with the primary goal of finding the reason behind the disappearance of Miya Millete. Detectives have shared leads and evidence regarding Miya's disappearance with the multi-agency working group. The investigators have conducted numerous search warrants on physical locations, digital evidence, and social media content, as well as conducted interviews of witnesses to generate new leads and obtain evidence. The investigators have also followed up on every tip or lead received since Miya's disappearance. The investigative steps and efforts to date are below. Interviews with 87 individuals to include family members, friends, neighbors, and witnesses. Written 67 search warrants to include residences, vehicles, cellular and electronic devices, call detail records, financial records, social media, and cloud data. I'm going to have to, let's see, go to the second page and let that open up. And make sure you all can see that. Okay, good. We're doing good. All right. Search warrant served at Miya's home on 1/23/2021. Search warrant served at Millete's relative's home on April 1st. Search warrant served at Miya's home on May 7th. Gun violence restraining order, GVRO, served on 5/7/2021 to Larry Millete. Search warrant served at Miya's home on July 1st, 2021. Reviewed over 130 tips on Miya's possible location and reason for disappearance. These tips have come from the local community and from around the country. Most tips continue to include possible sightings of Miya in different areas of the country. On July 22nd, 2021, Larry Millete, Miya's husband, was named a person of interest in the case. CVPD investigators continue to consider Larry Millete a person of interest in Miya's disappearance. Today, the Chula Vista Police Department is announcing the arrest of Larry Millete for the murder of his wife, Miya. A joint press conference will take place in front of the Chula Vista Police Department at 3 p.m. to provide an update on the investigation and the arrest of Larry Millete. The investigation continues to be ongoing, and anyone who may have any information regarding May's disappearance is asked to please contact San Diego County Crime Stoppers at 888-580-8477 or CVPD at 619-691-5151. No matter how small the detail, we ask the public to share that information with investigators or Crime Stoppers. For any questions, media are asked to direct all future inquiries to PIO Lieutenant Dan Peak at 619-585-5610. So let's go back. I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to check, see if anything has... Waiting for a press conference to start is so frustrating. Let me see something here. And then I'm going to check back with you guys in a second. So let me just see if there's anything going on here. Nope. All right, I don't see... Go ahead and close this out. I don't see that it's streaming anywhere yet. I'm back to the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. And not my first rodeo, too. I was right, it is not my first rodent. I just got here. Did they arrest LM? I hate using his name. Wonderful news in terms of justice. Horrible continuation of spousal monsters walking among us. I doubt he will do the right thing. I couldn't have said it a better way. Thank you for that comment. Put this up here. And let me see what else you guys are saying. Hi, Penguin. It's nice to see you. Oh, detective's daughter, you have your own built-in furnace, so you very rarely get cold. That must be nice. I live in Florida. We don't have that. Doesn't mean we don't get cold, honestly. I think I like that better. But we just don't have that. So let me see what else is going on here with you guys. And I haven't seen the press conference start yet. Just toggling back between screens, you guys. It's like frenetic. Oh, Shimpy, I am looking for the press conference. So I see Tracy L is looking. Larry Millete was arrested this morning at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. And so they had originally said that the press conference was scheduled for 3:30 or 3 o'clock, but it looks like now it's 3:30. So, Blanca Cruz, you sent me the link. That is so nice of you. Where did you send it? And I'm going to go hunt for it now. In Messenger, maybe? No. Let's see here. I'm checking all my email boxes here. All of them. All of them. Let's see. Yes, you did, Louise Davidson. Okay. Blanca Cruz in chat. Oh, you sent it to me in chat. Okay, I got to scroll up. I missed it. You know, StreamYard's weird. You can't, I mean, even with multiple screens, like, you just have to keep looking. Oh my goodness. And I don't see it. Oh. Jenny, did you really? That's awesome. Yeah, I'll just show you. I mean, if anybody's interested at some point, my husband was in Thrasher magazine and things like that. So, yeah, we have a giant skateboard ramp and a shed behind our house. So we're crazy people that live out in the woods. Let's see. Still Okay, so the good news is I'm watching somebody else that is doing this, and let me turn the volumes. Don't know if I missed this, you guys. If somebody finds it, can you? I'm so sorry. Can you? Because this is where they said to look for it. Could you please email me, and I will give you my email address right there in the chat. It's email me a link because I am desperately searching for it. So there it is. It's just amy@truecrimesushi.com. Darcy Miller. My thoughts are with Maya's family, as this has to be so hard for them. I hope now a judge will give the children to Maya's family. Yes. Let me see. Okay, I put it in a community post comment. Oh, you are awesome. Thank you, Blanca. Sorry. Can you guys tell my anxiety is back? It's like, don't hide it very well, you guys. Let me take a look here. All right, community. See that there. Don't see it there. Ah, I can't find it. I don't know. Go back to this. Go back to. Don't. Good grief. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, it has not started yet. And I think I'm in the right place. So I will go ahead and, I'm so sorry, guys. Ah! All right. You emailed a link, Amy. Okay, thank you. Yvette. Thank you. I'm checking. I see it. Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my God, you're a lifesaver. Yvette, you're the MVP, baby. Thank you. Get this Facebook off my page. I'm going to go to YouTube. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. All right. I know I'm having trouble. Give me a second here, you guys. I'm getting there. All right. Give me a second here.
Can you hear? Correct. Eric is
okay, can you guys hear that?
115.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Blanca. Thank you, Yvette. I'm I'm gonna go ahead and
Marching on the.
swipe off your comments so we have that.
And the batteries
And
get on it?
we'll watch this together.
Yeah. I know. I'm sure.
There we go. That looks a little bit better. Sherry, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Tracy, it was on the Chula Vista Facebook page, but when I was on Facebook, I just didn't see any updates, so I started getting nervous. So I'm just gonna patiently wait for this to start. And in the meantime, I will shut up the minute they start talking. I promise. I won't interrupt this. In the meantime, I can tell you kind of like let's go through the timeline of events. Let's see, January 7th, 2021, according to Chula Vista Police, Miya, 39, was last seen by her family at her home on Paseo Los Gatos around 5 p.m. on January 7th. This was 2 days before the family was set to travel on a planned trip to Big Bear for her daughter's birthday. Miya had 3 children, ages 4, 9, and 11. Investigators said Miya had not answered phone calls or text messages since January 7th. On January 9th at 11:18 p.m., Miya's sister calls Chula Vista Police to report her sister is missing. On January 10th, CVPD Lieutenant Miriam Fox confirmed police officers arrived at Miya's home along the 2400 block of Paseo Los Gatos in Chula Vista around 1 a.m. to investigate the report of Miya's disappearance. It was at this point that investigators learned that Miya had vanished 3 days prior. The search for the missing mom began. Family and friends said Miya's car was still at her home, but phone calls went straight to her voicemail after her disappearance. For the next 2 weeks, Miya's family, the community, and the police searched for her. Looks like things are getting started. Investigators originally described Miya as 5 feet 2 inches and 105 pounds with brown hair, brown eyes, and freckles. Her family said she has a tattoo on her wrist. All right, here we go, folks. I'm going to be quiet.
We love you, Marcus. We love you. Lots of family. Woo! Okay. Team Miya. Not going anywhere.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Dan Peak from the Chula Vista Police Department, and I oversee our Criminal Investigations Division. Thank you all for coming on such short notice today. Before we get into the press conference, I want to recognize a few of the individuals that are here. Of course, I want to recognize the mayor, of the city of Chula Vista, Mary Casillas Salas. Also wanted to recognize the city manager for the city of Chula Vista, Miya, and also wanted to recognize city of Chula Vista council member Jill Galvez. Before we get started in the press conference, I wanted to let you know that there'll be two speakers. The first speaker will be the Chula Vista Police Department Police Chief Roxana Kennedy, and the second speaker will be the San Diego County District Attorney Summer Steffen. I also wanted to recognize several individuals that are to my left that helped make this investigation possible and lead to the ultimate arrest that took place earlier today. And that would be FBI from San Diego Special Agent in Charge, Suzanne Turner, and also from the United States Marshal Service Supervisor Deputy Marshal Paul Bill. And then, of course, I wanted to recognize May's family, which are all to my right here. And May's sister, Mary Chris, will be saying a few words today, and she'll be representing May's family. With that, I would like to introduce the Chula Vista Police Chief, Roxana Kennedy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. As Lieutenant Pink mentioned, my name is Roxana Kennedy. I'm the Chief of Police for the Chula Vista Police Department. And I want to first thank everyone for attending today's press conference with such short notice. Along with our law enforcement leaders, I am joined today by May Millete's family, her friends, and our community members. Today at 11:42 a.m., the Chula Vista Police Department SWAT team served an arrest warrant and arrested Larry Millete for the murder of his wife. Larry was taken into custody at his home and was alone at the time of his arrest. And I know many of you are all very concerned about May's children. I want you to know that they are safe. May was first reported missing to the Chula Vista Police Department shortly before midnight on January 9th, 2021. May was last seen 2 days earlier by family members at her residence located in East Chula Vista. Since being notified of May's disappearance, officers and investigators have remained committed and determined the circumstances behind her disappearance. As the scope and complexity of the investigation grew, so did the size and the scope of the investigative effort. The Chula Vista Police Department began a formal partnership with a multi-agency working group, including the San Diego District Attorney's Office, the FBI, and NCIS. The primary goal was to bring May home to her family or bring justice to the person responsible for her disappearance. To date, the investigation has included over 67 search warrants, 87 interviews, review and investigation of over 130 tips, and thousands of hours of methodical investigative efforts. These efforts ultimately generated a variety of pieces of evidence that have become clear and overwhelming. Larry Millete, May's husband, is responsible for May's murder and disappearance. Today is a step towards justice, but it does not mark the end of our investigation. The Chula Vista Police Department will continue to seek answers for her family. Today is about May, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about her. May was loved by her family and friends and was committed to her children. May's murder and disappearance has impacted so many over the past 9 months, including many people who had never even met May. Yet they rallied around her family and helped keep May's disappearance in the spotlight. While understandably the family and public want answers, our investigative team must follow the facts and the evidence that has led us to today. Our team did not stop. They relentlessly pursued justice. They wanted nothing more then to find out what happened to May, and as we now know, to hold her killer accountable. Homicide detectives say that they speak for victims who cannot speak for themselves. Their mission is one of compassion for victims and victim families. They are dedicated to being able to bring closure and accountability to those involved in these tragic events. This case will ultimately be placed in the hands of a jury who will be given the chance to evaluate all the evidence and the facts. While we are here to report the arrest of Larry Millete, nothing will change the fact that May's murder is a senseless tragedy. A mother is gone. A family is broken. And a community is left with questions and confusion. This affects us all, but it affects most of all those who loved and cared for May. Today, you will notice that officers and family members are wearing purple ribbons. It is not lost on any of us that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Domestic violence is prevalent in every community and affects all people regardless of age, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, gender, race, religion, or nationality. This is a time to acknowledge domestic violence survivors and be a voice for its victims. I would like to thank my entire team at the Chula Vista Police Department that you all see around you, along with our partners, the District Attorney's Office and DA Summer Steffen, FBI San Diego and Special Agent in charge Suzanne Turner, U.S. Marshal San Diego Division and Supervisor Deputy Marshal Paul Beal. And unfortunately, they couldn't be here today, but San Diego NCIS and Special Agent in charge Josh Flowers. I'd also like to give a special thank you to the Cold Case Foundation, who also helped through this process. Their support of all these partners and their commitment has been invaluable to this case. I would also like to thank the many volunteers and community members who are here today. Thank you. You've been there the whole time to support May's family, and we appreciate it. And to May's family, I want you to know that I pray every day that we find May and we get closer to your family. I now want to introduce our District Attorney, Summer Steffen.
Thank you, Chief Kennedy. I'm Summer Steffen, San Diego County's District Attorney. On Monday, October 18th, yesterday, my office filed a criminal case in San Diego County Superior Court charging Larry Millete with the murder of May. More specifically, count 1 alleges that Larry Millete unlawfully killed May on or about January 7th of 2021 in violation of Penal Code Section 187. There's also a second charge of illegal possession of an assault weapon. Following his arrest today, the defendant was booked into jail and is being held without bail. He is scheduled to be arraigned this Thursday at 1:30 in the afternoon at the South Bay Courthouse. Whenever one of our community goes missing, we hope for their safe return. I know that is what May's family wanted. Sometimes missing person cases remain unsolved, but as the evidence unfolded in this case meticulously and carefully, block by block, it pointed in one direction, that May was murdered. As we make this announcement, I know the hearts of the community are broken, as are the hearts of May's family. I wish we had better news for them. The only thing that we can do in the face of this senseless violence is to bring justice, to work tirelessly to make sure that we cannot bring May back, but that we can bring justice. And that's what it's about. As we make this announcement, understand that there's going to be questions about the fact that May's body is still missing. California law, and similar to across the nation, is very clear that the murder charges, that we can file murder charges despite not having a body. In fact, the law is so crystal clear that we cannot let someone murder someone and gain a benefit by hiding the body in a way that we can discover it. In fact, there is case law that we will be using in this case that makes it even more clear that a missing body is circumstantial evidence that there was foul play and that it's a murder, because somebody who takes their own life cannot hide their own body. We filed this case based on the evidence that was developed during an extensive 9-month investigation. Chief Kennedy and her team left no stone unturned. I am so proud to work with Chula Vista Police Department and its brave members that put everything on the line to help bring May home, and in the absence of that, to find who killed her. When Chief Kennedy called on my office to assist, the answer was a resounding yes. I assembled an elite team that includes a homicide prosecutor, a district attorney investigator, a cold case homicide investigator, and a crime intelligence analyst, to name a few. We had one goal in mind. We worked hand in hand with Chula Vista Police Department to turn over every stone to solve this case. I have to pause and thank the DA team that are here with me today, the essential team that devoted themselves to this case and will continue this fight for justice going forward in the courtroom of law. Our homicide prosecutor, Christy Bowles, back here, lead district attorney investigator, James Rhodes, and our cold case homicide investigator, Matt Grindley, along with our crime intelligence analyst, Peter Villafort, who you will learn was able to uncover some key evidence, with the support of Chief Deputy District Attorney Tracy Pryor and Commander Eric Nava. Thanks so much that San Diego shined, as it always does, with collaboration with the FBI, US Marshal, NCIS joining us as they have whenever there was a call to duty. I'm going to provide a brief synopsis of the evidence. Understand that a lot of the evidence cannot be shared. It will be shared in the courtroom. However, there is an unsealed portion of the arrest warrants that includes evidence that would not compromise additional investigation. This case, the investigation in this case, while we know that Larry Millete is responsible for the murder, is ongoing, and bringing May home to have a proper burial for her family is ongoing. So what you will get is the things that will not compromise a jury trial. One of the main reasons I'm providing this is that now that Larry Millete has been arrested and is being held on no bail, it is our experience that there are people out there that often have information, but they feel uncomfortable, they feel worried, they feel scared, they have loyalties, and they don't come forward until an arrest is made. We've experienced that repeatedly. We are hopeful that now is the time that you come forward if you have any information. We also know more facts now that might help somebody who saw the vehicle that we believe was the transport vehicle that was used to dispose of May's body, to search their memories and understand from what I'm going to describe that there is no specific location and that the radius may be very vast and large. So it can be someone in the county, somebody outside our county. That's why we appreciate the media attention that hopefully will allow someone to see this and think, I did see Alexis pulled off the road somewhere on January 8th of 2021, and to call us and provide that peace to the family of May. The investigators found, and when I say the investigators, I mean Chula Vista Police Department, working with the DA's office, working with our partners, that starting in 2020 and continuing until January 7 of 2021, May wanted a divorce for many reasons. Her husband, Larry, did not want the divorce. May was committed to her 3 young children. They were the center of her life. She wanted to continue being a parent, and she tried to negotiate that they can be parents to their children, but not subject the children to a toxic relationship. But Larry would not have it. In homicide cases, there is often a triggering event. In this case, on January 7 of 2021, May was no longer talking about divorce. She took that step, and the last call recorded that May made was to a divorce attorney. She did not make any further calls. When she called the divorce attorney on January 7, we know that Larry was aware because he sent text messages that were screenshot to his boss that let him know that this was final, that it was coming. It also turns out, and this is from extensive search warrants, everything is done by the book, extensive search warrants that were done by Chula Vista Police Department with the help of our team that uncovered a trail of things that were happening that were of great concern. Larry was trying to hold on to May, and he resorted to contacting what are called spellcasters. I've never had a case where that was involved. These spellcasters would be asked to make May want to stay in the relationship. But as December of 2020 came, those messages to spellcasters were a lot more threatening. He was asking for May to become incapacitated, for May to be in an accident, to have broken bones so that she could stay at home, thus displaying his homicidal ideations to harm May. The January 7th date was very clear. She not only had called the divorce lawyer, but she had set an appointment for January 12th to meet with the divorce lawyer in order to carry out the divorce. She wanted that date and not Friday, January 7th, because their daughter had a birthday that she had planned. And again, the kids were the center of her world. And she did not want to do anything to disrupt that birthday that was going to take place on January 10th. The last text message that May sent was on January 7th at 8:15 p.m. to her family. She sent that on Facebook Messenger. That's another set of warrants that were done. In the afternoon of January 7th, Larry Millete sent a really telling text. He said, I think she wants me to snap, and I'm shaking inside, ready to snap. At 9:21 p.m. on January 7th, Larry screenshot from his account cryptocurrency amounts of money that were in his cryptocurrency to his two daughters, ages 11 and 9. May's phone activity stopped on January 8th at 1:25 a.m. On January 9th, Larry Millete's spellcaster messages that had been sent on a daily basis turned from May to wanting to punish a man that he blames for the failed relationship. This was before Merrick Priest had called the police about May being missing. Now we go to November 8th. Security video retained by Chula Vista PD showed the defendant on January 8th at 5:58 a.m. in the morning, moving his Lexus GX 460, a black Lexus, with the license plate that bears the name Melani. The Lexus was already backed into the driveway, but Larry Millete repositioned that Lexus where the back of the Lexus is in the entrance of that garage. He repositioned it where no video camera can capture whether a body was put in the back of the Lexus or not. But based on that positioning, we're not able to see that vantage point. At 6:45 a.m., after repositioning the car at 5:58 a.m., Larry leaves and he does not return to the house for 11 hours and 21 minutes. He leaves his phone behind so that there is no ability to track the GPS or location on the phone. He takes his 4-year-old and leaves the two older children at home. When asked by investigators, he said that he went to Solano Beach for 11 hours and 20 minutes at the temperature that January 7th is. When shown a map, he pointed to the Torrey Pines Beach, which is 4 miles away from the Solano Beach. On that date, his employer was calling frantically, January 8th. He even called May, saying this is not like Larry not to show up to work, and wondering where Larry was. His father called, checking where he is, but no response. The phone was not operating. On January 26th, detectives served a search warrant to seize the contents of the Lexus's infotainment system. This is an older 2015 Lexus, so it doesn't have the capacity that we have today. The report generated from the download indicates a navigation event on January 8th at 3:29 p.m. in the afternoon for Larry's home address, 2413 Paseo Los Gatos. So 2.5 hours before returning to the home, he is entering his home address to get to the home. And this is why I'm giving this information so the public understands that we do not have a vicinity where the body may be. It may be out 2.5 hours or even further or closer. And that's why we need the public's help. Also, Larry's messages that were captured in the search warrant showed that he was informing his boss that she's serious and is going to get the divorce. Larry's father even texted him saying, Larry, please turn on your phone. This is January 8th, because Your boss is calling regarding your job. When a search warrant was served at the residence, they were looking for firearms registered to Larry. Despite a court order, he had not turned over one of those weapons, a .40 caliber gun, and it remains outstanding to today. So again, I tell the public, if you are holding on to that weapon, this is the time to turn it over to police. Detectives also obtained security footage from the neighboring residence and observed the following. On January 7th at approximately 9:57 p.m., the sound of 9 loud bangs were recorded. Unfortunately, despite the excellent work of the FBI, they were not able to confirm whether those were gunshots based on the quality of the recording. But we truly appreciate their efforts and their continued efforts. But at 10:34 p.m., neighbors heard the children, the Millete children, playing in the backyard at 10:34 p.m. on January 7th. This was unusual because of the time of night. On the evening of January 8th, May's brother went to the house around 6:30 p.m. By now, Larry had returned. When he arrived to the residence, he was worried about May because they had not heard from her, and May was always in contact on her phone. He went up to her room and knocked on the door, and there was no response. And then he went out to the street and looked in her room and did not see any lights. Larry first told the brother that he was at work and doesn't know what May is doing. This is January 8th. And then he said that he changed the story and said he went to the beach with the 4-year-old. It's important to note that it was not Larry that called the police to say that May was missing. It was Mary Priest who went to the house, knowing her sister is always in touch and that her sister was looking forward to the birthday in Big Bear, who called the police. Part of a no-body investigation is to look for proof of life. And in this case, for 9 months, there is no proof of life that May is alive. Case law is clear that in today's world of finances and everything being tracked, that shows no proof of life. May excelled at her job. She was committed to her career. She loved her children. She was looking forward to a birthday that was coming up that she had planned. And after January 7th at 8:15 p.m. in the evening, that was her last communication to anyone via text, social media, or phone call. The team also looked at all of the finances, and while she had a savings account and she was making a decent living, there was no withdrawal from any account, not before, not during. All her valuables were left in the house. All 4 cars are accounted for. But a key piece of evidence was where was May's phone? Because being able to track that phone gives you a really important piece of the story. And after an extensive recreation and experiment that was done in September of 2021, it was clear that May's phone was in that San Miguel Ranch neighborhood, at her home or thereabouts. That means that May did not leave did not go anywhere. She always had her phone. I talked about the financial evidence, which is very, very important. This arrest would not have been possible without the tremendous efforts of Chula Vista Police Department Chief Roxana Kennedy and her team. And I also, again, want to thank my team for working hand in hand with the Chula Vista Police Department. We ask the public at this point to call with any tips with regard to a Lexus GX460 black license plate Milani. If you saw that vehicle anytime on January 8th, please call and report that information. If you have any information about the missing .40 caliber gun, please call and report that information. If you have any evidence at all that you're aware of, please call and provide that information. While this arrest and the filing of charges starts us down the path of justice, this is not a win. We've lost a life, and all we can do is pursue justice fairly in order to bring justice to this family. Thank you.
Thank you to Chief Kennedy and to San Diego County District Attorney Summerstaff. And at this point, I'm going to ask Mary Chris, who's the spokesperson for May and May's family, to come up. And she's going to provide a few words. Thank you, Mary Chris.
I would want to say thank you, everyone, for being here today, for all your support. Of course, I want to thank Chula Vista Police Department for relentlessly working on my sister's case to this point. Chief Kennedy, thank you so much. You tell us you're praying for my sister. That means a lot to us. The DA's office. Thank you so much, Summers. Stephen, thank you so much, and all your team. Thank you. They tell us they've been working hard day and night, working on my sister's case, even though we don't see it. But they're working hard to hopefully to get to this point. It's been 9 months, and also with the community support, we were able to do it. Sorry, it is just overwhelming at this time for me. I'm still trying to take it today. It's been really hard. He's a family. He's our family. It's hard to go against a family. He's been with us for 20 years. My sister did love him. She gave him 3 kids. She just can't let it go. And this is still not the end. We have a long way to go. We're still asking the public, please help us bring my sister home. I still want to see my sister. I still want her to come home to us. Please, if you know anything at all, please help us. We are pleading. I still want her to come home. We did a promise to her 11-year-old daughter that we will bring her mom home, please. Let the kids know where their mommy is at. Let them know the truth, that they'll still be brought up
That she didn't abandon them.
healthy.
She didn't just get up and leave. I just want to thank the media for never giving up on the family.
Yes.
On Maya's case. You guys put her face on all the television, newscasts, social media. You guys never gave up on us. And you guys didn't let this case become a cold case. Just like the police department. Thank you, everybody. Man, women, love you guys.
Thank you.
The community that supported us every weekend, every week. Prayers.
Prayers.
Every Thursday with the prayers. Thank you to all the community that came out. Every search.
Even weekdays.
Rain, shine, desert, chicks and all. We were out there searching for our sisters. So.
We're not going anywhere.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. And again, thank you so much, everyone. It's all a teamwork from everybody. Thank you. We are bringing justice to our sister and we'll bring her home. Thank you.
So thank you to Mary Chris and Richard. Like it's been mentioned several times, this is an active and ongoing investigation. We still do not have May's body. And somebody out there may have saw something, or they may know exactly where she is. That person can remain anonymous. They can report it to Crime Stoppers, or they can call the Chula Vista Police Department or the District Attorney's Office. Please provide that information. All it can take is one tip, one lead to lead us to where May's body is. With that, I will open it up to a few questions. If they are specific to the District Attorney's Office, let me know. If they're specific to the Chula Vista Police Department, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
I realize that you're not going to talk in depth about the evidence, but tell us the guns that were stated in the taken out. If any of that constitutes physical evidence to very much. Or is this just more of the
Yeah, I can't talk about the evidence, but it is a case that's built on a piece by piece circumstantial evidence at this point. No, we've prosecuted several missing body cases. Fortunately, in one of them recently, the body was discovered right before the trial. We're hoping that happens really to bring finality to the family. But we feel very confident about the prosecution and the evidence that we have.
District Attorney, are you able to seek the death penalty without a body? And I have a follow-up.
Seeking the death penalty is not related to whether you have a body or not. It's related to whether we have a special circumstance. Right now, the charges are murder, and there is not an alleged special circumstance. A special circumstance is something like the murder was committed in the course of a robbery or kidnap or rape. Those are things that constitute a special circumstance. Maybe some evidence will develop of a special circumstance, but at this point, we have a murder.
And would it be a mitigating factor if Larry left state if he were to reveal their Maya's body?
We always want to know where the body is, and we hope that anybody with good conscience will allow May's family and her children to have a burial place to visit their mother.
I have a question for the police department. Is he talking? Is he talking?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so unfortunately, this is an active and ongoing investigation. There is a lot of questions that we can answer. We obviously want to protect the case, like the Chief Kennedy and District Attorney Summer Stephan had said, this is going to go in front of a jury. At that point, the case will be laid out to a jury. So until that happens, there's a lot of questions that you have that we are not able to provide you answers with today, just due to the fact that this is ultimately going in front of a jury and will be tried there.
Does the department have any indication
Is
that
there
he
any
has?
questions specific to the Chula Vista Police Department?
Yes. Yes.
Two questions.
Do you believe he had
I'll
help?
be right with you now.
Do you believe he had help?
Will the children be released to Maya's family? They're gonna be okay?
So all I can report is that the children are safe, and I can tell you that this afternoon when Larry was taken into custody for the murder of May, the children were the number one thoughts in our mind to do that safely, to make sure they were never in danger. And once we knew that the children were not in any danger, that's when the SWAT team moved and took them into custody. I believe there's one question right here.
Yeah, should we still be searching the cell phone team triangulation area?
So early on in the investigation, it was released to the media, also to May's family, that we have reason to believe that May's phone may have been in the area of the old golf course near her house. When that information was released, we were going on the best info at that time. At this point, we've been able to analyze that data more closely, and we feel that May's phone never left the residence.
You have searched locations for Larry's family members. You have searched in locations where Larry's family members live. Do you have reason to believe that his family members helped him in any way?
At this point in the investigation, the only person that we feel is responsible for May's disappearance and murder is Larry Millete. That'll be all. Thank you.
Okay, that wraps up that press conference. You guys,
The perfect podcast is out there. And with over 2 million of
the perfect podcast is out there, and you're watching it right now. Just so you know. So the takeaways: murder of Miya Millete. That's what he's being charged with on January 7th, 2021, as well as illegal possession of an assault weapon, which they still haven't found. So they're asking for any information regarding where Miya Millete may be, because they don't have a body, but they also don't have the weapon, which is very, very interesting. I don't think I've ever, I know I already said this, a more comprehensive press conference. I don't think I've ever seen a district attorney be so thorough. I'm honestly gobsmacked. I thought we would be on here for 10 minutes and have some discussion, and it was a lot different than that. So it looks like Larry Millete is going to be arraigned on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time for the murder of Miya Millete, body in absentia, date occurring January 7th, 2021, and illegal possession of an assault weapon. I did think it was interesting. I wrote this down. the DA said, we cannot allow someone to murder someone and benefit by hiding the body. You cannot take your own life and hide your own body. And that was in response to charging for murder without a body. So that is, I'm still letting this all marinate. I'm getting, obviously I sat here at the same time as you and listened. Very, very, very comprehensive press conference. And again, Larry Millete will be arraigned 1:30 p.m. on Thursday, that specific time, for the murder of Miya Millete on January 7th of 2021 and illegal possession of an assault weapon. We'll also note that at one point during the press conference, the DA did say if you saw a Lexus on the side of the road on January 8th, they want people to come forward and bring those details. So they must be assuming that that was how he disposed of her body and in that vehicle. Yeah, if it is televised, I will go live when it's televised. If it's not, I'll go right afterwards. So we can do that. Definitely Twin Mom 11. I don't know about blood evidence. She did say there is an unsealed warrant for his arrest or arrest affidavit. It is partially redacted, and that should be released soon. And I will be looking for that as soon as we get off of here and get that to you, and we can discuss that as well. Oh, you're crying with Mary Chris, LaCharm 69. Yeah. Or is that like Lahayim 69? Did I say it right? I don't know. She meaning Miya has amazing family. Amazing. Chris, you say this won't stand up, will it? Well, it takes a lot to get an arrest affidavit signed by a judge. I do believe they have enough circumstantial evidence at this point. I would want to look at it myself. I'm not an attorney, but I think there's enough to convince a jury. I love how they put out the clues and help they need from the public for some information. That's from Melissa Hart. I do too. This is, again, you guys, another example of crowdsourcing for true crime where the police are asking for your help. If you see something, say something. This is interesting. Magazine says, maybe vote for a law to hypnotize them into revealing the body. Yeah, that is. I think that's the case too, Melissa Hart. They seized his other weapons, and he had quite a cache of weapons. And there's one that they cannot locate. Twin Mon 2011. I'm not dead inside, but I listen to a lot of these things, and I can't. I normally can contain my emotion. There was a couple times where I was listening where I was really overcome, even before the sister, even before Mary Chris came on. So Algo One says he is convinced. Algo One is an attorney, so there you go. There's weight on his opinion, and I would say, let's see, Kitty Von Meow. A law should be written to take all weapons from homes in cases of DV or missing partner or child. I'm tired of seeing so many deaths in my country that are usually preventable. Amen, sister. Yes, that is a true crime, I'm sorry, butchering your name. True Court and Crime Junkie. She reminded me of Judge Grady with details and facts. Judd Grady. Sheriff Grady Judd. Yep, out of Polk County, Florida. He is all the facts on the line. So I agree with you. I'm not going to stop gushing over you. You worked very hard to go through law school, and that is an accomplishment, and I admire you for it. So, no, I won't stop. Let's see. I've watched Mary Chris so much, I've gotten to close this case and cried with her. It's sad and worse because of what he's told the kids. Just sad all the way around. It is. Let's talk about some of the other takeaways from this. So we know he's charged with murder of Miya Millete on January 7th, no body. Illegal possession of assault weapon. We also know that there's an assault weapon they're still looking for. And we know that this is crazy to me, you guys. We know now that Larry, well, let's back up. Miya wanted a divorce and it was going back and forth. And Larry didn't want a divorce. And Larry became so desperate that he started using or utilizing spellcasters. So I'm going to have to look into this more because although it's something that in general I can imagine what it is, I'd like to see what the ads and things like that say and what, you know, what that all involves. But spellcasters to basically make Miya love him and not want to leave him. And when that didn't work, you guys listen to this. When that didn't work, Larry Millete went to spellcasters and asked for spells to have her physically incapacitated so that she could not leave him. I'm not going to say it's insane. It's not. Those are evil, 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 dark thoughts. And I'm processing this as I'm talking out loud, but I'm thinking that Larry's going to say, well, I went to the spellcasters and I wanted to find a way where she couldn't leave me. And this was my only choice. Killing her was my only choice. Or it was the spell that did this to her. I can see a defense lawyer saying our client believes that it is the spell from the spellcaster that led her to where she is right now. We should see. What do you think about that, Trisha? Should we get a spellcaster for your show? That'd be amazing. I don't know if I want to even deal with that, though. So I know my thumbnail had some other things. We have been on the air for an hour and 22 minutes right now. I am going to go through the Miya Marcano stuff, and I'm going to still watch the chat. If there's anybody that wants to come up here and discuss this with me, I'm going to put a link down below. And while I put that there, let's see here. Can a spellcaster be held liable for withholding information? I believe the answer to that is no. No. And you're welcome for streaming it. Again, anybody wants to come up and chat, be my guest. I'm going to tell you this. Miya Marcano, she's the woman that disappeared out of Orlando, Florida from her apartment. She was living in the Arden Villas apartment complex on University Boulevard in Orange County, Florida. She was also a college student at Valencia College, and she worked on the property as well in the leasing office. Her body was found in a wooded area. Her legs were duct taped. Her hands were bound. There was duct tape over her mouth. It's just horrible. She was abducted from her apartment, and the person of interest is a gentleman named Armando Caballero. He subsequently killed himself. So Algo, I see you backstage, and I'll get there in 1 second. He had been harassing her at work, and she had been dismissing his advances. He entered her apartment illegally, and I do believe that he abducted and killed her. her family is now suing Arden Villas apartment complex, Prius, who is the parent company and the property management company. And I'm going to keep saying their name too, because they specialize in collegiate housing and they market safety and community. And I don't see a lot of news outlets mentioning their name. They'll mention the Arden Villas apartments, but they won't mention Prius. So it's PREISS, specializing in student housing. These parents look at these websites. They have properties all over the countries near major colleges, universities, college towns, and they think, oh my gosh, they specialize in collegiate housing. It's safe. They provide a community. And no, they don't. They absolutely don't. There are people at Arden Villas that haven't felt safe. There are employees there that haven't felt safe. Miya Marcano ended up dead because of their lack of concern for her or lack of action addressing her concerns. And I want parents to know. I don't know why media agencies will not say their name. It's Prius. And if you're sending your child off to college and you're picking somewhere for them to live and it looks like a luxury apartment community that provides activity and stellar safety, you need to check it out yourself, because guess what? This was a fail. This was an epic fail. This was a preventable death. And I agree with this family and suing. They're also suing the estate of Armando Caballero. So there's that as well. It makes me so angry. It really, really, really does. All right. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hi, Amy. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm well. I am overwhelmed by that press conference, as I think most of us are.
Yeah, totally.
What was your takeaway for that?
Well, for one, I really liked that they were really thorough, while not jeopardizing or harming the investigation or the trial that's coming. I didn't see anything that could be really used by a defense attorney. Like, prosecution has been trying this in the court of public opinion. No, that's not what they did, and I think that was really good for them. And that said, I think that some stuff that we already kind of knew, like these podcasters, could show us where the defense is going or going to go. I'm not gonna say it because I'm not giving them an inch.
All right.
But yeah, this case has been really close to my heart. I'm not gonna say I'm close to Mary Chris or Richard, but I've been on the Facebook group for a long time, and I've seen how much they and all the Chula Vista community has worked for Miya and her family, and the cheering to Mary Chris was really, really something, really heartwarming.
Yes. Yes. I have never seen a DA get up and provide such detailed information. I did notice that at one point you wrote a comment and you said, no, that was too far. Oh, you got puppies.
Yes.
I'll bark back at him. So at one point you said that there was a comment that the DA made that you said, okay, that's too far. Do you remember posting that and in reference to what it was that she was saying?
That was in the beginning. No, I don't remember what it was about, but
I think it was about the not having a body, and that they didn't need a body to prosecute for first-degree murder. And she kind of went on, and I think that's when she said, you can't allow someone, that I wrote it down, you cannot allow someone to murder someone and benefit by hiding the body. You
No,
cannot
yeah,
hide
that's
your body. Yeah. So were you saying,
that's
like, don't give that to the defense?
yeah.
Yeah.
For example, but that's the law in California, I
Right.
believe. They cannot be paroled or given bail if they withhold the body of the victim.
Right.
So that's not really anything that a defense doesn't know already. And to be honest, this guy is not gonna give anything
No.
to the family.
No.
That's what infuriates me the most.
Yeah. I think so too. And I think the only way he's going to give up the body is on a deal.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do that in order to have? I mean, how far do you think they'll deal down, in your opinion, if that would come up?
Only if they actually find special circumstances that
Mm-hmm.
they can bring up to the court,
Right.
I would deal down.
Right.
Like, no death penalty, but give us the body.
Right.
That's the only thing I would do. I would
Right.
give him. Because the other option is to downgrade it to second degree, and no way.
Right. Yeah.
And something I was reading on the statute about, and now I'm thinking like a congressman or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so behind the times, for lack of a better term, that domestic violence in itself is not a special circumstance.
I agree. I agree. I mean, that's because child abuse is.
Right.
So why when just because um, we're in an aging process and it's not a parent-child relationship anymore. Well, actually, not all child abuse is,
Yeah.
um, because it's a different relationship and it's at a different period in our chronological lives. That it's not a special circumstance. I can't make heads or tails of that either.
No, there is no good reason.
No.
There is exactly the same kind of commitment and relationship you have with your children as to your spouse.
Right. And you can create. So the argument has always been for children that they are dependent and
Yeah.
that they cannot provide for themselves. Well, I can lay out a scenario in about 5 minutes where you can create that environment for another adult as well, where they
Yeah.
don't have financial resources, they don't have access to food, they don't have access to their utilities. There are people in this world that will leave their wife at home and shut off the electricity for the day, So, and there's nothing. If you don't have credit, if your name isn't on the account, if you don't that's just, I'm sorry, but that's just become a bullshit situation as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm tired.
Or this guy stalking her because he was stalking her. It
Yeah.
reminds me so much of Alyssa Turney's case.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
The exact same situation. Michael Turney was obsessed with Lisa. She goes missing, quote unquote, and then he doesn't give a crap. Huh. Right. That should also be a special circumstance, because you're not allowing someone to exercise their rights, basically,
Right.
to privacy, to everything.
Right. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Twin Mom 2011 says history of DV should be included in a sentence. I think it should be
Yes.
yes, I think that should be a criteria for considering what sentencing is. Like when they
Yeah.
evaluate, that should be on the list, and it should be for juries too.
Yes.
So not just for the prosecution laying out the charges, but for the juries in considering the case. That should be
Absolutely.
the criteria. It's very upsetting that it's not.
Because right now, because they haven't been able to make a case for special circumstances, as I checked, he's looking for 25 to life. So anything that will bring us closer to life is welcomed.
Right.
So if you can slap him with DV charges, use of a fire weapon, whatever, do it.
Yeah, everything. I'm a big fan of not overcharging in the sense of like if it really looks like a like manslaughter and charging first degree. And I don't mean an overcharging that way, but
Mhm.
I do agree in putting every single thing you could possibly charge them with on a list so that collectively you get the years that you need. So if we're like, for instance, if we're looking at 25 to life, and let's say it goes to trial and he gets 30 years, well, maybe he gets another 20, not concurrently, but consecutively on a weapons charge, and maybe he gets another 10 here, and we build it out to 80 years. I'm good.
To an effective life sentence.
Right. I'm totally okay with that. I know some people aren't because they want the years under the right charge. For me, yes, in a perfect world, you would get that life sentence on the charge for murder, but that is not practical. That's not realistic. And so look at it like this is where he needs to be.
Casey Anthony.
Thank you. And that's where they messed up.
They couldn't prove first degree, and now she's free and with kids.
Right? And because of double jeopardy cannot ever be tried again.
And Kaylee can go, you know where.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm going to wrap this up because you guys.
Anytime.
No, I really, really appreciate it. Do you have any final? I feel like Jerry Springer. I gotta feel like I gotta find a better way to say this. Do you have anything final thoughts before I let you go?
No, because if I do, I'm gonna start swearing.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll cut you off. We'll pretend you're at the bar, and I'll be like, "No more for you."
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy.
Bye. I love him. I really do, and I really appreciate that well-rounded legal background that can weigh in because I'm not that person. I am going to, because of the length of the conference, because we've been on for about an hour and 40 minutes now, I am going to wrap this up. We will continue the other things at another time. I do want to tell you at 10:15 p.m. this evening on Web Sleuth's YouTube Live, Trisha Griffith will continue the conversation, and I'm going to join her there as well. So if you're not part of the Web Sleuth's Mad Chatters, I encourage you to do so. Please do. If you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you did. I gotta stop saying the word. I get all flustered. Basically, if you hit the notification bell, you won't miss another live. I have been a little sneaky with my lives lately because I'm not on a schedule yet, but it looks like this might be my good time. I'm going to really make an effort to work in like between 5 and 7 because the later night things aren't working for me. It's just too difficult. And it's not to say that I won't pop in there from time to time, but I think this is like a better time frame for me. I appreciate you all being here. I look forward to continuing the discussion later on tonight on Web Sleuths. And in the meantime, you can find me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active. It's at Crime Sushi. I will put that up here real quick at Crime Sushi. I also have a Facebook page. It's just True Crime Sushi. I don't do Facebook groups. I like to chat here in the comments or on my community page on YouTube, which I am equally active on. You can find me on Instagram, True Crime Sushi. And I guess that's going to wrap it up for right now. I look forward to seeing you all later on this evening. Don't miss Trisha Griffith on Websla's YouTube Live at 10:15. You will regret it if you do. It's going to be a great show. And I believe I will be back tomorrow or Wednesday, definitely Thursday if they televise the Larry Millete arraignment. I don't want to miss that. So go ahead and plan on that, and I'll work on that. And I'm also working on getting his arrest affidavit. So when I get that, I'll post that for you as well. And I guess that's it. Good night, Sushi Crew. I will see you in a couple hours. And as always, thank you for hanging out with me and discussing true crime in a very civil way. It means everything to me. So thanks so much. And I will see you all on the flip side.